Hello, listeners. This show contains some bad words like the F-U-C-K word. That spells fuck, by the way. Please listen responsibly.
Friends, countrymen, Al Pacino, for whatever reason, beer me your ears. I'm Dave Michaels.
I'm Bryan Betts.
And this is Beer Me a Movie. It is the podcast where me and Bryan go back and forth, beering each other a movie, surprising each other week after week. We have no idea what we're ever going to talk about the next week. I am drinking heavily for this one because, Bryan?
I did it dirty. And
You did it dirty. I'm going to hold this glass up.
Yeah, I think that's...
Drink with me.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers, because today we are talking about Jack and Jill from 2011, directed by fuckhead Dennis Dugan, written by fuckhead Steve Coren and fuckhead Adam Sandler. Bryan, this is your pick. What is wrong with you?
I got to keep you on your toes.
You did it.
Yeah.
You did that.
The last thing I want to become is predictable.
All right.
I felt like this was such an easy left field, No.
So you're saying left field. And
Yeah.
This is not left field because we talked about an absolute banger last week with E.T. And what
Right.
you've done is you've taken us to University of Texas, Austin.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's underneath their football stadium?
What's that?
A fucking body farm. And that's where you've brought us, is
Yeah.
to the body farm. There is just decaying things everywhere. We're watching things die, and we're just clocking how long it takes them to deteriorate as we watch. And I can tell you how long it took me. 33 minutes.
33.
Because I sent you a picture. It was the first break I took in this movie going, surely this must be over. And the picture was of a whiskey glass and Drano.
Sure was. I hadn't watched the movie yet when you sent that, so that was really exciting for me.
So what was going through your head at the 33-minute mark where I died?
I was probably enjoying myself, actually.
And now that's going to lead me to this question. Give me your thoughts on the movie, because have you seen this before?
Yeah, honestly, can't remember
Okay, because I can't imagine a sane human being
watching it
picking
twice.
this voluntarily to watch it twice in their lives.
I don't think I've actually seen the movie before this, but I do think I've seen the closing scene before this. And
Okay.
that is something that we will eventually talk about.
It absolutely is. I typically don't hate things, and I don't fully hate this movie, but I mostly hate this movie.
I feel like I mostly also hate this movie.
And I laughed a few times, and that hurt the most.
I caught myself giggling on a couple of occasions and went, damn it, they got me.
They did, and that's like such an embarrassing thing. Like when Jill comes into the picture, like, oh, you got a new chandelier. I like the old one better. Like, I don't know why. It broke me, man. It broke
did,
me.
yeah. And then, of course, your classic slapstick stuff where, people are getting knocked over and
Poop jokes.
then so many poop and fart jokes.
And
I don't
sweat
know what I was
jokes.
thinking. So many sweat jokes.
Do you just want to get into this thing, man?
I feel like the sooner...
I think I'm actually having an aneurysm live. Is that a first? A podcast first? Someone having an aneurysm live?
I don't know. That's a good question. You know what? Let's claim it and look into it never.
Put a flag in it.
Yes, this is the first live aneurysm in the podcast medium. Google it. Or
We've
don't. Just
done
believe
it.
us.
You can change Google, I think, right?
You
can
can
change
change
damn near
Google.
anything, realistically. Go on Twitter.
You could even change.
Really? Is it a change right now?
By the time this episode comes out, Twitter's not even going to be a thing anymore, Dave. Way to date
It's
the
true.
episode.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
I'm saying that, it could happen tomorrow.
It could happen tomorrow.
It might happen tomorrow.
It might have happened already for all I know.
That's right. We've been talking for 5 minutes. Twitter could be already gone.
It could be completely gone.
Speaking of editable websites, Wikipedia, that is where we pull our first category from, the story motivation. Jack Saddlestein, played by Adam Sandler, is a successful Los Angeles advertising executive. He and his wife, Erin, played by Katie Holmes, have a daughter, Sophia. Also living with them is Gary.
Wow!
A Hindu boy who they adopted at birth and who has a habit of compulsively taping various objects to his own body.
Adoption shame much, Wikipedia?
Right? Also living with them.
Holy hell. Yeah, they have a biological daughter, and then they have some fuckhead Hindu kid who they found and adopt him at 10 days old, and he tapes shit to himself.
He lives with them too.
This kid's adorable.
He's amazing. He might be my favorite part of the movie.
Favorite part of the movie. No, second favorite part of the movie.
Fair.
But, oh man, I love him. I love him so much. I'm so sorry he's not by birth child. Wikipedia, what the fuck?
This Wikipedia plot synopsis, by the way, is, I feel like it does a poor job of selling an already hard to sell movie.
Fair enough.
Jack wants counseling for Gary to break the boy's addiction. We're really focusing on Gary right now.
We are. Like, this isn't a thing. This is not a part of the plot.
No, this is not important at all to anything that happens in the movie, and I don't even remember this happening.
No, because the entire first scene where we find out that Jack is an advertising executive, he's directing a commercial.
With Regis Philbin.
Pepto-Bismol. And Regis is pissed off that the colon has all the good lines. The puppet colon.
And Nick Swardson is being anti-Semitic. You know, it's...
Of course. But comedically.
But comedically so, right.
And they're trying to get Al Pacino to do a Dunkin' Donuts Dunkaccino ad.
Exactly.
That's the plot. It has nothing to do with Gary.
That's right. But let's talk about Gary a little bit longer because Wikipedia wants to. Jack wants counseling for him, but Erin won't hear of this. She views Gary's behavior as the very thing which makes him unique.
Parent in denial. All right.
It sounds like it's going to be a movie about Gary at this point.
It might be. Jack and Jill and Gary.
Jack's unemployed twin sister, Jill, played by Adam Sandler, has been living alone in their working-class New York City neighborhood since the death of their mother. She visits Jack for Thanksgiving, with plans to stay until after Hanukkah, much to Jack's horror.
That's a long visit, and he doesn't want her there to start. And
right.
She is a lot.
I
think that's the only way to really put it.
That is the best way to put it. She's a lot.
Now, I'm going to ask you a loaded question here, Brian.
Yeah.
Because Adam Sandler is playing Jack and Jill.
That's right. He's clumping it.
He is trying to clump it, yes. I really like Jill as a character, despite how annoying she is. She's like over the top in enough of a way. But Jack is the one I'm just like, dude,
Jack's a
suck.
dickhead. He's the worst.
Like, you're supposed to think he's the worst, but there's nothing redeeming about it because you see the same person playing two different sides and
yeah.
Oh god.
And Adam Sandler should never cast himself as the straight man in anything.
No, it doesn't work.
Jill, who has an open-ended plane ticket, annoys her brother at Thanksgiving dinner, where she also embarrasses a homeless guest. It's Alan Covert. Alan fucking Covert.
Absolutely.
Reprising the role as Otto from Happy Gilmore.
I love how he's just sitting there, just eating, and Jill is just silently whispering to everybody.
But not silently at all.
There's a homeless man sitting there. And I like how she's so much that he excuses himself from Thanksgiving to go back to being homeless.
Yeah, I'm just going to go homeless. And then he just kind of hangs out in their yard for the rest of the movie.
In a tree in the woods. He pops in every now and then, and it's so good.
It's great.
This is, you know what? This is a perfect time to state this. Me and Brian have a rule that we live by when talking about movies. It's that you have to celebrate the bad while tearing down the good. Not every movie's complete shit. Not every movie is perfect. Like the best ones, there's something wrong. The worst ones, there's something redeeming. Exactly. We found something redeeming already.
We did.
We silver linings
Otto.
This fucking garbage pile of a movie.
Hey, we have a lot of celebrating to do today.
That's a good point.
Also at Thanksgiving dinner are Erin's parents.
Sure, not adopted.
Not adopted.
I don't know why I feel like I need to say that.
Erin is like hardly in this movie, but Katie Holmes is still like second build.
That's just having a good agent.
It's just like, hey, here's Katie Holmes. She's in the movie because Adam Sandler's dickhead character needs a wife.
That's right, in 2011, when Katie Holmes was a thing.
I don't even know if she still was in 2011.
I don't know.
The Saddlestein twins attend a celebration given in their honor by the staff of Jack's advertising company. Now, that is an oversimplification because it's a birthday party for Jack, and Jill just happens to still be in L.A.?
I think it's L.A.
So, yeah, so she comes along with them, and that is the celebration in their honor.
I love that they just skipped the whole movie.
The whole
like,
thing.
Bravo, Wikipedia.
So much on
But I'm
Gary.
looking at like what's written here. It's like, no, there's so much to happen still.
But I love that they're like, hey, let's focus on Gary a lot and then skip the actual movie.
So they have this big-ass birthday cake, and Jill's upset because Mom and Dad always got us 2 birthday cakes. Like, there's clear trauma here that no one is addressing in this movie.
Yeah.
It's really hard to hate her.
It is hard to hate her, but it's
as
also,
easy as it is, it's really hard
easy to hate her. She means well.
Right.
She's just a lot.
Her heart's as big as her dick because it's played by a man.
Right.
Who's very clearly being a man.
That's
in a dress with boobs.
Yes, because we will find another one later in the movie who's actually pulling it off way better.
yeah, well, we'll get there too.
Jill disgraces herself, her brother, and his colleagues until she is asked to leave her own party. Never happens. That's not in the movie.
No, it's not.
She leaves all on her own.
Yes.
A day later, Jill's obnoxious conduct gets Jack and his family banned from their local movie theater. Also not true. They all leave on their own.
They all just leave because Jack's being a dick. Because Gary's like, hey, you and Jill are alike. And he's like, no, we're not.
Yeah, but then Jill answers her phone and talks loudly.
That's a good point. I forgot all about that because that's I was dead at that point.
You had drank the Drano.
Do you want to know what's worse about this? Is you know what I did directly after watching Jack and Jill?
I'm afraid to ask.
I went to go see Wakanda Forever. And by me saying I went to go see Wakanda Forever, I saw the first half of it, and then I woke up, and the movie was over.
So you saw all of Jack and Jill. And missed
and
half of Wakanda
I was so
Forever.
exhausted that I fell asleep in that big comfy chair for Wakanda Forever. And I can successfully say I've still never seen a Black Panther movie in theaters.
Well,
the first time I saw Black Panther was on an airplane, and that didn't go well. And then this one, I was really into it, and then I was out and like a light.
Yeah, well, give it a couple months. It'll be on Disney+.
Exactly.
It's definitely worthy of a big screen, though. So.
Oh, I bet. Jack and Jill's ruining my life, though.
Mission accomplished.
Bravo.
You can't have the really high highs without the really low lows, Dave. I'm just trying to.
It's true, or else it's just all going to be status quo.
Exactly. Jill goes through a list she has compiled of things to do in Southern California, being a contestant on The Price is Right, going horseback riding. In parentheses, Wikipedia makes sure to tell you, she breaks the horse's back just by sitting on it.
Which is a funny scene, too, because she wants to ride this horse so badly, and the horseman's just like, nah, bro, you're too heavy for it. She goes, no, I'm not. And she gets on it, and this horse just collapses. She goes, he was right, I was too heavy.
And the legs are just sticking straight out of this pony's body. Though. She just
I
killed
hated
little
how funny it was. Any other movie surrounded by other things that don't suck, proper funny.
Absolutely. And the last thing on her list is touring a studio. And I don't remember that part at all.
I don't think she does that. She does go on Price is Right, and she gets her ass knocked out by the big wheel, though.
She does. She knocks herself out with the big wheel, and they just give her prizes. Like, get her out of here. Deciding that Jill needs a partner, Jack and the kids teach her how to use an online dating site. However, being Jill, all right, Wikipedia, she fails miserably in her efforts to find a boyfriend.
Well, that's when Adam Sandler, I can't say. That's when Jack gets involved. And he goes on to Craigslist and he creates the creepiest thing that you could do to your sister.
That is 100% the creepiest thing you could do to your sister.
It's like, do you want to get boned by a really flexible, sexy masseuse? Here's her dating profile.
It's like, she's hot, and then he has like a flashback to the sweat in the bed from where she was sleeping.
Ugh.
He's really using words in a fun way here.
And Gary's watching, because of course he is.
Oh yeah, Gary's like, you're terrible, Dad. And he's like, I know. Don't tell anyone.
So bad. Oh, God.
One guy calling himself Fun Bucket, Norm McFucking Donald.
Oh, I was so happy to see him.
I was ecstatic, I think is the word. I was so happy that Norm, I mean, you guys heard our first episode. Norm was here.
He was here. I couldn't believe we got him. He's a hard get these days.
So look at this, episode 3, Norm's back.
How about that?
Fun Bucket meets Jill at a swanky restaurant, but sneaks out after only a few minutes with her.
Well, he says he has to go to the bathroom. This is after she just keeps talking, says she wants to do 21 questions. And she goes to the bathroom, and he's not there, except he is. He's just hanging by a light.
I didn't know how much I needed in my life Norm Macdonald clinging to a ceiling light.
Yeah, it was annoying, because how do you miss that? But also, it's Norm McFucking Donald. How annoying could it possibly be?
Exactly. Forgiven on account of Norm.
Exactly.
How's about Wikipedia gets to the actual plot of the movie now?
Finally.
Jack's agency client, meanwhile, wants him to get actor Al Pacino to appear in a Dunkin' Donuts commercial, thus promoting a new coffee called the Dunkachino. Wikipedia, the Dunkachino is not new.
It is not new.
In 2011, it was probably one of their oldest things on the menu.
Yep. Pretty much like in the 70s, someone went, coffee, hot chocolate, boom, Al Pacino. What?
That's an Al Pacino. I get it. It's got Chino in the name, so they're like, you know what we should do? Let's get Al.
Sure. What's he
Alpa.
doing these days? Not much.
Jack takes Jill to a Lakers game with Pacino in attendance. He's just hanging out with Johnny Depp because this movie is like cameos.
This movie is all cameos.
And some of them are fun.
This one is kind of fun. Johnny Depp's hysterical in this scene.
Johnny Depp is very good. And he's wearing a Justin Bieber shirt. And I'm like, okay, yes.
But then you have Al Pacino who's just wearing a beard because he wants to be incognito. And instantly on the Jumbotron, he pops up with Al Pacino.
It's so good. In the worst way possible.
Yep.
Pacino ignores Jack, but is infatuated with Jill. It turns out Pacino and Jill grew up on the same street in New York City. Obviously, the twins grew up on the same street. What is happening here?
I don't know. I have no clue. He's like obsessed that she's from the Bronx.
Oh, she's real. She's my people.
I hope she doesn't turn out to be a hooah.
Ah, there it is. Pacino gives Jill his phone number via hot dog.
I love that.
And
It's written on the bun and ketchup.
This movie is so ridiculous.
It
you
is.
have to laugh at some parts.
You have to.
Just to get through it.
Yes, absolutely. You're dedicating 90 minutes of your life to this. You might as well try to enjoy it.
And I feel like that's what Al Pacino did the whole time they were shooting it.
Ball.
Nobody's having more fun in this movie than Al Pacino.
You're going to pay me how much? Really? Hooah.
Pacino invites Jill to his home, yet for some reason, in parentheses, being Jill, she has no interest in him.
Wikipedia, the shade.
She has no interest in him whatsoever and promptly departs.
Good for her.
Good for her. She knows what she wants. She's got her standards. Not sure what they are because it's just.
We're never going to learn them.
It's
just
apparently
know that they exist.
Not Al Pacino.
Right.
That's her line. Jack's Mexican gardener, Felipe, played by Eugenio Derbez.
Oh, he's terrific.
He's so good. I wasn't going to give him the fucking, but then again, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man. It's one of those weird catchphrases that I actually found hysterical in this movie. It
caught on so well.
It's just so damn charming.
He is an absolute sweetheart, and I love him.
It's so good.
I also love that the same actor is playing his grandmother.
They lean in heavy on the grandmother. Being just weird and creepy. And then she gets her ass kicked, like Scott Sterling style, by everything at this picnic.
I think the hardest I laughed at this movie was when Jill hits her off of her chair while doing the piñata.
That was up there.
I absolutely lost it. And I was like, damn it. It's the physical
Because
humor
she just
will never
like
get
falls
old.
back. It's just like beautiful.
It's
Old
perfect.
people getting hit with stuff. I didn't know that was the thing that I needed.
Dennis Dugan can do one thing right. It's that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Felipe is also smitten with Jill, and he takes her to meet his family at their annual fiesta. And there she tries Mexican food for the very first time, which is, I don't know how, but she's gone this long without going to Taco Bell.
Sure. It seems like she had bad parents. And she's like still mourning them. And if my parents never took me to Taco Bell, I wouldn't fucking mourn them for a second.
I'd be like,
after I had like delicious food. That'd be the last trip I'd take to their grave after having Taco Bell. Because I'd be like, you never took me here, Mom and Dad. It's a shame you got killed in Crime Alley or something.
Sorry about that guy who shot you and stole your pearls, but I just had a cheesy gordita crunch, and, well, I'm going to consider that vengeance.
It's been a Baja Blast, Mom and Dad. But I gotta go. Hoo-wah.
Gotta crunch wrap it up. Hoo-wah!
It's been real, Mom and Dad. But the Mexican pizza's back for a limited time only.
Whose fries are these? Nacho fries.
That was the easy one.
Also, has there been a menu item in the history of time that has gone away and come back more than nacho fries?
The McRib, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking in a timeline Like over time, the McRib has left and come back, but it's annual.
Sure.
I feel like nacho fries leave and come back 5 times a year.
But no one notices any of those times.
It's like, hey, nacho fries are back. We're like, did they leave? I didn't even.
I've never been tempted to order them. The one thing that hurt me the most that did leave was the cheesy Fiesta potatoes.
Yeah.
And that used to come in like the smallest little carton, and it was delicious. And then they're like, oh, they're back. And then I ordered it as like my side, and now it's a fucking meal. Apparently,
Oh,
like it is a full potato in there,
They just
and
went,
not just. Oh man,
you like your Fiesta potatoes? Well, guess what?
let's see how much you like these Fiesta.
So much like eating an entire new order of Fiesta potatoes, Jill comes down with severe diarrhea, which makes her even more difficult to live with than usual.
Well, she's going up the stairs after she gets home, and she's being like real coy about it. And they finally get out. She's like, I got the Hershey squirts. I gotta go.
And then after she leaves the bathroom, Jack is just opening all the doors to the
And holding
outside.
candles and stuff.
And she's like, what's wrong? And he's like, nothing. It's fine. What are you saying?
It's like the longest poop joke ever.
It's a messy poop joke for sure.
It sure is.
Pacino refuses to do the Dunkachino commercial unless Jack gets him another date with Jill. This forces Jack to invite Jill on a cruise, which he was planning just for his immediate family.
Sounds like a horrible time. I hear cruises are awful. I have no plan to ever go on one.
I've never been on a cruise, but I don't think they seem that bad.
Why not?
I don't know. I just, seems like fun.
You just like sweating with the oldies. That's what you're into, so that would check out.
I mean, I'm not against it.
You hear that,
Richard
oldies?
Simmons is a saint.
Oh, God.
Are we not talking about the workout tape?
We're not. We were not. There was the Thai Bowman in this movie, though.
That's right, the type of. Not to mention Jared Fogle.
Oh, that aged horribly.
And also Vince Offer, the slap chop guy, the ShamWow guy.
Right. That was the weirdest. That was the birthday party scene.
That was the birthday party scene. And it was just like one after another. Like, what canceled person can we get in here next?
Oh, God. They just went like rapid fire, though.
Like,
I was just talking to Jared, and Jared's like, I eat more than just these sandwiches. Like, oh, my God.
I don't know how you lose weight eating 10 of these sandwiches a day. He's like, I don't eat that many.
Do you have any other hobbies, Jared?
It's funny because she makes a comment about the 2 young girls he's hanging out with, too.
Is that a hard drive in your pocket, Jared, or are you just happy to see me?
There's so many other people in this movie that I'm just waiting to get canceled now.
If you're in Jack and Jill, you deserve it.
You better keep your head on a swivel if you were in Jack and Jill. I'm talking to you, McEnroe.
He's, I think, cancel-proof. I'm pretty sure he's Teflon.
He must be at this point.
What are you saying? I got to keep my head on a swivel.
You know what? I take it back immediately because if there's anybody that will hear this and get mad about it, it's him.
You're probably right.
And I just don't need that kind of energy in my life.
That's true. No one does.
So Jill insists on bringing her pet cockatoo, Poopsie, along for the trip, despite the cruise line's strict no pets policy.
And this cockatoo gets like drowned in a chocolate fountain type thing.
Sure does.
Loved it.
It's great. This cockatoo, by the way, has been in the entire movie, and I don't know now why Wikipedia is like, oh, we got to talk about Poopsie for a second.
Well, I think they're going to talk about Poopsie because like the twins have like their own little secret language that they talk in all the time, and it's Poopsie like fits right in with it because was it Jack who's called like Pogogo or something like that?
Pogogo, yeah, and
the other one,
I don't know.
I don't care.
Pontoon boat. I don't know.
It's silly. It's just
it's
another
all
thing.
Silly. It's another thing.
Adam Sandler noises.
Poopsie also has its own catchphrase. Where were you?
Yeah, that's.
Which is
oh god, that bird deserves the worst.
You smiled a little bit though. I saw it.
Yeah, in my heart.
Where were you?
Because I'm imagining the bird getting drowned in chocolate fountain again.
That is the best part of the bird's story.
Absolutely,
the bird's arc is complete with the chocolate fountain.
It is.
Throughout the voyage, Jill and Poopsie continue to irritate and offend everyone except Sophia, Gary, and their mom, Erin. I don't know why Wikipedia was like, let's name the kids this time, but not Katie Holmes.
Make sure you name Gary, though.
I'm surprised it wasn't Sophia, Erin, and the adopted kid. When Jill keeps refusing to give Pacino another chance with her, Jack disguises himself as his sister and meets the actor.
Oh, man, how meta.
I can't believe this happened in this movie. I did not see this coming from a mile away at all.
Nope, I didn't.
This is super surprising, this twist.
This was the most surprising, I'd say.
Jill, hearing Pacino's voice in the background of a phone call with her brother, learns that she was invited just so Pacino would do the commercial. And it's a bummer.
It's a big-time bummer.
Because she was just starting to believe that he wanted her around, and then she figured it out, and she's like, oh, I'm upset. So dejected, she returns home to New York City.
She sure does. Come on, Poopsie, we gotta get out of here. I can't have you getting Augustus glooped all over again.
Feeling guilty, Jack follows her along with Aaron and the kids.
It's that easy to get off a cruise ship, apparently.
Apparently. I mean, this is the third time Jack's left the ship.
It's ridiculous. Like, are there no rules to the ship?
I don't know. You can just hover your helicopter over it and send down a ladder if you want, or you can just bounce halfway through the cruise.
This is Al Pacino for Royal Caribbean. Are you feeling saucy? Do you want to get on a boat and maybe get off? Come on down to Royal Caribbean. The Kumite is leaving tomorrow.
Let's all go for a dip in the chocolate fountain.
Are you my baby sass?
Stay tuned for a Christmas episode.
Not that movie, that actor.
100% right.
Did you just mix up your Tenacious D's and your Walk Hards?
For a hot second, I did.
Man, I don't know how you followed this movie then with Jack and Jill, and which is which.
Well, there's Jack Black and Jill.
That would have been a choice to have Jack Black play Jack.
And Jill.
And have Adam Sandler just stay as Jill.
Okay.
I feel like then at least you'd match energy a little bit.
Yeah, it's harder to pull off that they're twins at that point, though.
Then don't!
I just
make them siblings.
Putting-
Fraternal.
Putting
Done.
Jack in makeup to be Jill would be a harder sell. I feel like Pacino would see right through that.
But do a mask scene. It's fun and funny.
All right.
I'm not going to waste my brain power trying to make this movie better. I'm just not.
There are way better ways to spend your time. Jill arrives back in the Bronx on New Year's Eve, only to discover that the bank has taken away her mother's house. This is because Jill kept throwing away numerous bills, which she thought were junk mail.
Yeah, that's not great.
The now homeless Jill encounters a group of former schoolmates, led by class bully Monica, who is played by, I shit you not, David Spade. And the reason I say I shit you not is because it took me half the scene to be like, is that David Spade?
It sounds like David Spade. Holy shit, it's David Spade.
That is David Spade.
The only thing missing is a Rob Schneider joke. Oh, there it is.
So Jill runs into all of them at a restaurant on New Year's Eve. And then Jack, Aaron, and their kids show up. And the two siblings reconcile by conversing in their made-up twin language, which is such a sellout move.
It is. It really, really is.
Like, it was really disappointing. I was like, this is the moment of the movie where we're supposed to actually like Jack for the first time, and no, this is shit.
They took it away from us, the redeeming quality of the character.
They're just speaking in poopsie language or whatever it is. It's
right.
When Monica attacks Aaron,
for reasons,
she's cold-cocked by Jill.
because David Spade dated Adam Sandler, apparently, in high school or something, and David Spade saying,
I like that sentence.
Clearly you settled for like second best or whatever. Proper funny. And David Spade has this crazy like cutout dress with a belly button.
Insane. It's absolutely insane, and I love it. Pacino arrives in character as Don Quixote, who he is currently portraying in a Broadway production of Man of La Mancha.
And he's like sticking his spear thing into the fan like it's a windmill.
Yeah.
So good. Pacino just leans in.
Pacino is having so much fun, and the only reason I'm having fun is because Pacino is.
Yeah.
He tells Jill that while he still has feelings for her, there is another man more worthy of her than himself. So she goes home to find Felipe and his children, where they begin a relationship.
And this is wild because when they go back to the house, there's like snow everywhere. But not here, not in this one house. They like cleared it. It's all green, and the pool is open. And the pool was open before too, which is even weirder. But
I did not realize that the pool was open.
Yeah, the whole time it was strange. And the pool's in the front yard, and that's got to be a weird thing too. Like if you're in the Bronx
Yeah.
Strangers have fucked in your pool.
For
if
sure.
it's in the front yard.
If you got a front yard pool. I thought there was like Felipe's kids were like clearing the yard so Felipe could do the landscaping.
Was that it?
Like
I'm not going to
show
try to put it together.
Oh, look, I love you because I made a heart topiary in your front yard after
How
shoveling
touching.
away all of the snow.
Okay.
This movie, man, I don't know.
Don't think about it.
The television commercial gets made with Pacino starring and singing a rap song.
About Dunkachino.
About
He's singing and
Dunkachino's.
dancing.
He's singing, dancing, and dropping references to all of his movies. And when he finally sees the commercial, he completely disapproves of it and says to burn every copy.
It's so funny.
It's so good.
It's so deadpan. He's just like, never, ever show this to anybody. Burn every copy. But that right there is Jack and Jill.
That's it. That's the movie.
From somehow 2011.
For better or worse. Also, Bruce Jenner is in this movie.
Yep. No lines.
Before
But,
transitioning.
he's just in the background at one point, and they point him out, and there he is. This is terrible.
This movie... I want to say it's trying, but I don't even think it is.
So, story and motivation. That's what we got to focus on right now.
The story.
I don't know, and the story I do know, but they also take it away from us at the end.
They
The thing that
immediately
we're
take
supposed
it
to try to
away
care
as
for.
soon as, The motivation I don't understand. Well, I understand
don't.
Jack's motivation.
Yeah, he
is-
wants Pacino.
He
And
wants
I don't
Pacino.
understand Jill. She just wants to be close to her brother
Right.
after the parents' death, but it's like so poorly done all around. I'm going to go with a 1.
I think it's a 1.
I mean, it told a story.
Exactly.
It just annoyed me a lot.
Next up, we have casting.
What Adam Sandler's a lot. 2 is
2 is too many.
excessive.
And you can tell that they knew that 2 Adam Sandlers was too many because one of the Adam Sandlers isn't being Adam Sandler.
Right.
And of course, all of Adam Sandler's friends are here because
Every single one of them.
cannot make a movie without them.
I cannot reward Adam Sandler any points at all. I can get behind Gary. I can get behind Felipe. I can get behind Al Pacino.
Yeah, I can also get behind Norm Macdonald and even David Spade.
So what are you thinking?
3,
Fine.
and that feels generous, if I'm being
It feels
honest.
so generous. If you had said anything under 5, I would have probably agreed.
Like, not even to mention that Katie Holmes is just in the movie.
She is. She's just
She
there.
doesn't do anything. She doesn't talk to anybody. She has no character arc. She's just there.
Right.
It's a bad look.
It's not a good one.
Protagonist.
Is it Jack? Is it Jill?
It's got to be one of them, right?
I don't think it does.
They're the
I mean,
titular
I think they set up
characters.
Jill to be the antagonist, but at the same time,
But she's more likable.
Al Pacino might be the antagonist.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
There also might not be an antagonist.
they might be all antagonists, honestly.
That's also fair.
Oops, all antagonists.
Well, in that case,
The
0.
protagonist is
Done.
us.
You want to go 0-0?
Let's go.
Because we can't figure it out.
We're
That's
going
a problem.
0. And antagonist, I feel like this entire movie is the antagonist.
It's working against us actively.
Yeah.
1 for Al Pacino,
1 for Al Pacino. I like it. We give it the Al Pacino bump.
as it deserves.
Screenplay. Do you want to go negative?
I think we might have to. I can't believe there is one.
Because it's just, there's a lot of fun jokes in here, and certain characters have their bit and their one-liners, but like overall, this script is nothing to write home about. And when you get to your climactic moment, to do it all in twin speak is such a cop out.
What are you thinking?
-1.
That's fine. I was thinking -2, but
I don't know if,
-1.
I don't know if we can
feels
go farther than -1 because
Okay,
our
so
scale
-1
now-
is like the ultimate punishment.
yeah.
We'll say that.
Until we get something worse than Jack and Jill, but
Right.
I'm not holding my breath.
This is good though. You said you wanted to test the scale with this one, and damn it, we are.
We sure are. Style and tone.
I don't know if this falls into directing or not, but the way that Dennis Dugan shoots this thing has a lot to do with the style and the tone of it.
Yeah.
So maybe we try to lump these together a little bit. But whenever you are doing a comedy, comedies are typically more evenly lit, brighter lit, so that you don't have to match up shots as much. It gives the actors room to play. So in the editing room, it's a little bit easier to throw it all together if there is anyone improving or whatever it might be. Usually in a comedy, people laugh, and it's really hard to get the good takes.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to throw it all together. So you evenly light it. The way he shot this thing is so damn bright. And it feels like an uncle standing over everyone holding a camcorder, aiming it down at all times, that I couldn't stop being annoyed at it. Like, it's the same camera angle the entire movie.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. There's nothing interesting happening with the camera here, and it is overlit. And it's hard to believe that this is the same guy who did I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, and You Don't Mess with
So
the
hard
Zohan.
to believe it. For style and tone, oh god, 0.
Yeah.
For director, he made a movie, and that's hard to do. 1.
All right. I'm okay with that.
That's just
He made a movie. It's hard
respect,
to do.
I guess.
You know,
I don't know.
It's a whole
I haven't
91
done it.
minutes long. So
There you go.
You know,
Have you made a
props.
movie?
Never made a movie. Well, not one that was released theatrically.
Hold on. Go into Pornhub now.
Let's talk about music. This actually surprised me and made me a little upset.
What do you got?
Rupert Gregson Williams.
Jeez. Well, he is kind of like the canned family film guy.
That's true.
a lot of the
And of
time.
course, Waddy
Him and Jerry
Wachtel.
Goldsmith, usually.
Waddy Wachtel, who does like all of the Adam Sandler movies.
That is a great name that should be rewarded.
He's also one of those musicians that's like on everybody's record. He's, a studio
Sure.
performer. So like he's performed with Stevie Nicks, and then in 1998 he pleaded no contest to having child pornography, and now he still has a career. And I don't know, but
I was going to give him a bump, and now I cannot.
the Waddy Wachtel bump, just for the name.
1.
Because damn it, there was hold on.
Yeah.
The Al Pacino Dunkachino rap.
3.
3. I like it.
I don't know why, but feels right.
You're 100% right, though. The next category is not up to us. It is up to the people who went and paid money to see this movie.
Which is more than it should have been.
Yeah, by a lot. This the budget on this was $79 million. I would like to remind you that last week we talked about E.T. That was $10 million. This movie cost 8 times what E.T. cost to make. And that's just funny to me. It did gross $149 million against all odds.
I can't believe it.
Opened second at the box office behind Immortals. And then there were other movies that came out. It was 2011, It barely beat out Paranormal Activity 3 and the re-release of Footloose. Good for you.
Man.
So, slow week at the box office.
It must have been.
But it did make 189% of its budget, which is going to give it a 7.
Jeez, that's disgusting, and I
Doesn't
hate
that
it.
hurt?
Man. Do you want to hear what critics had to say about this thing?
I would absolutely
While we're
love to
talking
hear
box
it.
office. Roger Ebert did not see the movie.
Good
Just
for him.
did not. And there was actually like message boards asking, is Roger Ebert really not going to watch this and review it for us?
He's
But
I
he did not.
abstain.
But the critics' consensus on Rotten Tomatoes, we'll go to the Rotten Tomatoes score later.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know what it is.
The critics' consensus is, although it features an inexplicably committed performance from Al Pacino, Jack and Jill is impossible to recommend on any level whatsoever.
Yeah, that checks out.
Eric D. Snyder from Film.com, he said, it is indeed every bit as lousy as it looks. So kudos to the marketing department, I guess. They nailed this one. Amy Nicholson from Box Office Magazine at the time, and now you can listen to her with Paul Scheer on the great podcast Unspooled. She said, if Pacino on Sandler action is your trailer's selling point, the movie better be brave enough to have Pacino bend him over. Heck, it's already doing the same to us.
Oh, that's excellent.
And then I got real tired of trying to find anyone that was fresh.
Sure.
Anyone. And this got a 2 out of 5 on filmcritic.com from Christopher Null. He said, bad, but not abysmal.
Okay.
So that's the fresh one.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets for this movie.
And I only pulled one thing off Letterboxd because, weirdly enough, everyone just wanted to talk about Dunkachinos.
Well, yeah, naturally. They're delicious.
Or like they gave the snarky 5-star.
Right.
So the only one I pulled off is from January 4th, 2021. And it's an Al Pacino quote that says, I can smell horny across an ocean.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do we have to bump up screenplay now?
We sure don't.
Wow. That paints a good picture of what this movie's like.
Oh, the best picture.
Let's talk about its impact on the industry.
I think the only way to appropriately do this is to talk about the Razzie Awards.
Oh, this movie, when it comes to the Razzies.
As of 6 days ago, it still holds the record for the most Razzie Awards.
Yeah, well,
Still.
it swept the Razzies.
It did.
There are only 10 categories in the Razzies. It was nominated 12 times.
Yep. Because Worst Supporting Actress, David Spade.
Amazing.
Worst Director, Dennis Dugan. For Just Go With It. Did he direct that too and he lost for that too? Or
yeah, he also directed that and lost for that.
Jesus
or won,
Christ.
however you view it.
However you want to do it. Worst Screenplay.
Yep.
Worst Screen Couple is Adam Sandler, Katie Holmes, and Al Pacino. And it says Adam Sandler in either Katie Holmes, Al Pacino, or Adam Sandler. It's very confusing. Worst Ensemble to the entire cast.
To the entire cast.
Worst Picture.
That's a big one.
This one. Worst Actor.
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. Worst Actress. Adam
Also
Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
Worst Supporting Actor, Al Pacino. Worst Prequel, Remake, Ripoff, or Sequel, because it's a sort of remake or ripoff of Ed Wood's Glenn or Glenda.
That's right.
And it got nominated for Worst Supporting Actor, Nick Swardson. He was too good. And it got nominated for Worst Supporting Actress, Katie Holmes. But again, she was too good.
She in doing nothing, she was better than David Spade.
Do you want to give a Razzies bump? I mean, it's historic in a way.
A negative impact is still an impact.
6. I don't know.
That feels okay.
I don't know.
Sure.
Do you have a better number? That just comes to your gut and feels right?
5.
Yeah, that one too. Let's do that.
So different from what you said. I don't know why I reacted so viscerally. That is going to give Jack and Jill a total score of 20.
We are safe this week by a lot.
Yeah, that feels super high, to be honest.
It is super high because the critical score on this is a 3%.
Oh, okay.
And the audience score is a 36%. So we
Oh.
are right in the middle of it.
We did it.
Completely
We avoided
safe.
both edges.
But this is one of the worst movies ever made, according to a lot of different lists. And we still gave it a 20.
So maybe we need to be a little more harsh with our scoring. You might be right after all.
And I guess it's the part of the show where we say, what are we talking about next week? And Brian, you're not going to beer me a movie. And I'm not going to beer you a movie because it is the last week of the month. So the audience is going to beer us a movie.
The end of November means that we are getting beered from your suggestions. And we have assembled quite a list over the course of this month.
We have. And if you're a patron, we had to kind of skirt the rules a little because you guys are just too smart.
You're clever. You found the loophole.
You did find a loophole as one we can't disagree with. So as a patron, you can either submit a movie and have it count twice, or you can just submit 2 movies.
Yeah.
But as a patron, you get 2 slots on the random list. And as a cheap normie who doesn't want to be a Patreon subscriber for only as little as $1 a month to get a crap load of content.
And also to benefit children in hospitals right now, this month.
That's right. You only get 1 pick.
Because you're mean to kids.
That's
One pick. That's
right. So, Brian, why don't you hit that button and tell everybody what we're talking about next week, courtesy of our audience.
all right.
Audience, beer us a movie.
Hit that magic button, and we're going to be talking about Michael Karlstrom's pick of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
I am so fired up for. I knew his other pick too, so I was just excited.
Yeah.
It was going to be a banger, no matter which one it was from him.
I'm just so happy that we get more Clooney already.
Have you ever seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
I have seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Of course, from 2000, directed by Joel Cohen.
It's a Coen Brothers.
It is a Coen Brothers. It is directed by Joel, but it's written by the brothers.
It's one of my favorite Coen Brothers movies, if not
It
my favorite
is
Coen Brothers movie.
Phenomenal. And it wasn't the only one on the list. But,
No, it was not.
Spoilers.
Yep. It's a living list. You can write in, change whatever you want. We'll
Exactly.
Make the changes. Keep adding to it. Let's have a ball. It's a lot of
Whatever
fun.
you want to see, you shoot it our way, and we will add it to the list or change whatever your pick already is if you've already submitted something. Or if you've suddenly joined Patreon and want to send us a second pick, you're allowed to
Which
do
is
that
what you
too.
should do
That is the move right now, especially this month
for the kids.
for the kids.
For the kids, a different Coen Brothers movie. That's Hudsucker Proxy, but still counts.
Still
counts.
Still counts. Still the Coens.
There you go. Next week, Go Brother, Where Art Thou?
Until then, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Join us on Patreon this month to support the kids and to get all that content, including this month's episode with Dave Novak on David Bowie's 1972 album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. colloquially just known as Ziggy Stardust.
There you go.
You can email us your questions and comments at beermeamoviepod@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on all of the social media at beermeamovie, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and beermeamoviepod on Twitter.
Right. And if you have a question about a movie that we've talked about in the past, because we kind of want to keep the surprises going, so we're not really posting all that much about what we're going to be talking about this week, just write in on an episode post of, I have a question or a comment about this movie, and we'll get to it.
Exactly.
On a future episode. Kind of like this.
For example, Greg asked us about our Ocean's 11 episode 1. Post-episode question: if you could hang out with any one of these characters, grab a beer, hang, put on the show, who would it be? And I feel like I have different answers for all three of those. Grab a beer, hang out, and put on the show.
What do you got?
Well, grab a beer. I think I want to grab a beer with Danny Ocean.
I think I do too. I want nothing to do with Brad Pitt.
Oh, see, I was going to hang with Brad Pitt. I was going to hang with Rusty.
Way too cool for me, I feel like.
Well, that's why you got to hang out with him.
No, because you're going to look like such a piece of shit next to him. I can't deal with that.
I don't know.
I don't need that.
I feel like you'd at least, you could do the Mac, or you end up doing the Danny DeVito and just picking up the scraps.
That might be the case.
So get a beer,
right.
Pick the brain of Danny Ocean, hang out with Rusty, and I want to put Basher on the show.
He'd be very good on the show. No one have any clue what he's saying.
No, that's half the fun of it.
I'm fully in. I think I want to hang out with the twins.
Okay, yeah.
Mostly because I wouldn't have to do any of the talking because
No.
they wouldn't be interested in me at all, and I would just be entertained the whole time.
It's pretty established that they're obnoxious to hang out with, though. I mean, they make Matt Damon run into a building.
They sure did. That's fair. Maybe it would be a quick hang. I don't know. Quick hangs still count.
Quick hangs still count. Hey, I got to get my beauty rest, so quick hangs.
That's right. So there you go, Greg. Probably not what you wanted, but it's what you got.
That's pretty much all we're good for these days.
That's true. Bryan, you got anything else?
That's it for me.
Fantastic. We're going to see you guys next week for Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? We'll see you then.
I'm a dapper den frog, so I can wait till next week. See you then.